Hi, and welcome back to the Yogi. This is Julia, your yoga instructor for arthritis, and I'm joining you from a beautiful setting in nature. It's summertime, and I wanted to take advantage of connecting to nature while connecting to our deeper selves. And in today's video, I'll be guiding you through how to practice bridge pose. In this posture, we will be strengthening the legs, activating and stabilizing our core muscles, the muscles around our knees, around the hips, and lower back. This posture can be very calming. It can help to reduce anxiety, stress, and depression. I'm going to be giving you a few options for bridge pose. So if you do have a bridge pose practice, you might learn something new today or add a few tools to your yoga toolbox. There are so many benefits to being outside in nature, and I wanted to share this beautiful, serene setting with you and choose to create a voiceover so that you could clearly hear this yoga session. All you'll need for today's practice is a yoga mat, one yoga block, and a chair. There are a few contraindications to taking bridge pose. If you have a cervical spine injury or arthritis of the cervical spine, please avoid taking this posture without any yoga professional present. If you are choosing to take a seated variation on the chair, please keep your head in line with your spine and avoid looking behind you or overextending your neck. If you have lower back arthritis or lower back injury, a knee injury, or active knee arthritis, please listen to your body and take whichever option works best for you. So let's get started. I'll begin in a lying variation on my back because I'm already on the floor to avoid getting up and down from the floor to the chair and then back down to the floor again. As you may know, living with arthritis, it can be challenging to stand up from the floor and then to make it back down to the floor. I will address this as well in this video. So we'll be sitting up at the top of our mat with a nice long spine. You have the option to place your hands underneath your thighs if that's available to you and roll down all the way to your back. Your shoulders are completely supported by your yoga mat and your head. Relax, keeping the knees bent and your feet grounded on your yoga mat. Take a few mindful breaths and begin to relax your body. Inhale fully and exhale completely. Inhale fully and exhale fully. Take a few more mindful breaths before we begin with our first variation of bridge pose. I always like to begin with a meditative practice before taking a physical practice because yoga is more than exercise. It is a holistic practice, unifying the mind, the body, and the spirit. Now, I want you to take a moment to check in with yourself and ask yourself how you feel. This is a great way to begin a yoga practice, to drop in not only to the body, to the mind, to just get a sense of how you're doing before, during, and after your yoga practice. Maybe coming down to the floor isn't the right option for you today. We will be taking a seated variation, so staying seated in the chair is perfect. Take a full deep breath in. Release and exhale through the mouth. Now place your arms by your sides with the palms facing down, preparing for our first variation of bridge pose. Ground into the four corners of the feet, starting with the big toe mound, the inner heel, the baby toe mound, and the outer heel. Grounding into those four edges of the feet. Bring attention to the knees, keeping our knees pointing straight ahead in line with our middle toe, and keeping the head in line with the spine. Gaze up towards the sky. Push into your heels and activate your glutes, your abdominal muscles as you lift your hips off the mat. Activate your glutes and abdominal muscles. Keep your shoulder blades and head on your mat. It doesn't matter how high your hips lift off the mat. Focus on equal weight distribution as you press through the feet and the legs. Take a few mindful breaths. Notice what this posture feels like in your body. Engage belly button to spine, and then roll back down vertebra by vertebra. Release the sacrum, the lower back. Your knees are bent. You have the option to windshield wiper the knees from side to side, taking a bit of a counter movement. Breathe in and out while taking windshield wipers. For the next few moments, you even have the option to open your arms and palms up towards the sky, to open the chest, and exhale back to center. This time, you can slide your arms underneath your body, sending your hands clasped with your fingers interlaced underneath the glutes. Keep a gentle space between your chin and chest. Push through the feet. Engage belly button to spine, coming into bridge pose. Keeping your head in line with your spine to protect your neck. Take a few mindful breaths. Lifting the heart in this heart opener. And when you're ready to come out of this posture, you can roll down vertebra by vertebra and pause here, or take windshield wipers with the legs very slowly again from one side to the other, keeping the breath flowing naturally. Place your feet back down to the earth. Allow the sacrum to stabilize and restore its natural balance. And I'm going to turn to the side, the right side, so I can look at all of you. You're doing great. Next, we're going to be taking our yoga block for the supported variation. So we'll stick to a lower height for our block. There's lower, middle, and high height, but we're going to stick to the lowest height. Or you can use something softer than a block, like a folded blanket or a bolster, which we'll be placing underneath the lower back. But let me help you set this up. We're going to hold our block in our hand and slowly roll back down to our yoga mats. Placing the feet, inhale and exhale to press through the feet, lifting the hips off the yoga mat so we can slide our yoga block on the lowest height underneath our sacrum, the low back. Find a comfortable position for you with your prop, and then you can relax your arms by your sides, either palms facing up towards the sky or down. Take a few mindful breaths here in supported bridge pose. Relax the head, the shoulders, relax the belly, your lower back, your glute muscles, your legs, and relax your feet. Now that you're set up in supportive bridge, you can use this as a restorative yoga pose. So we want to surrender in this posture. I welcome you to take a few mindful breaths here and relax for the next 1 to 3 minutes. So here in your supported bridge pose, you are relaxing completely, focusing on releasing tension as you exhale. And when you're ready to come out of the pose, take time to bring awareness back to your feet and send your arms by your sides with your palms facing down on your yoga mat. Press through your heels, lifting your hips, and slide your yoga block out with one hand and remove it to the side, keeping the knees bent. Notice how you melt into your yoga mat, you melt down into the earth after taking a supported variation. This should feel really nice. You can take another moment to rest. And when you're ready, take a little counter movement if that feels good, moving in windshield wipers from side to side with the lower body. And then we'll roll over to the right side in fetal position, just for a few breaths, stacking the ankles, knees, hips, and shoulders. I'm using my arm as a pillow today, but you can use a folded blanket, or if you're at your house, you can use some cushions from your couch to place in between the ankles or the knees for added support in fetal position. Take a few moments in fetal position, and when you're ready, inhale and press into your left hand or your forearm to come up to a seated position or to all fours on your yoga mat if that's more comfortable. I want to show you an option to safely get up from the floor to your chair that I learned in my Yoga for Arthritis teacher training. If you are suffering from arthritis, then this is a great option for you to safely come up and down from the floor. I like to use any props that I might have convenient for me. So I'm going to roll this yoga mat up to create cushioning for my knees, which have arthritis. And now place your knees on the yoga mat that's rolled. And notice if that's more comfortable for you. Maybe you need added support underneath your knees. That's perfectly fine. You can use cushions from your couch or a folded blanket. Next, take the chair that we have conveniently with us for this practice and place it in front of you. We're going to use it as a support. You can place your hands or forearms down to the base of the chair and step your strongest leg forward. Next, press into your heel and drive yourself up to a standing position. You might be at a halfway standing position, so elongate your spine before pressing all the way up. There are a few options that can be taught to come up and down from the floor, but I wanted to just focus on one today. Give it a try and let me know what you think. Now we'll take a seat on our chair for the seated variation of bridge. For this seated variation, you might have arms on your chair or you might have no arms on your chair. You have the option to place your hands on either sides of the arms of the chair with your fingers pointing downward. You also have the option to place your hands to the seat of your chair if that's more comfortable, to either side, with your fingers again pointing downward. Notice which feels better for your shoulders, your wrists, and hands. If you have arthritis in your hands and wrists, then maybe you don't want to take the physical posture. Maybe you want to visualize yourself coming into the pose instead. Send your hands to either sides of your chair. Press equally into your feet, just like the lying variation. Open the heart. Press equally into the hands and lift your hips off the chair. Notice how I'm keeping my gaze towards you, straight ahead, to protect my neck as I come into the pose. If you have any issues of the cervical spine or arthritis in the neck, then keep this position. If not, you may want to try gazing up towards the sky and gently releasing the head behind you. Breathe in, press through your feet. Feel the strength of your legs. And when you're ready, gently send the head back to center, tucking in the chin ever so slightly, and mindfully come back down to your seat slowly without dropping. Your hands can rest in your lap. We'll find mountain pose, Tadasana, for a few breaths. Finding the edge of your seat, root down through your feet, and pause. We'll take a moment for a counter pose with a gentle spinal twist seated in our chair. Inhale to lengthen the spine from the base all the way to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, twist to the right. Option to gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center and exhale to the left. Taking our twist to the left side, gently. Option to gaze over your left shoulder. And inhale to flow back to center. We'll just take one more breath together, sending our hands to our heart center. Breathe in. And breathe out. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial on how to bridge pose. Remember that you have the option to lie on your yoga mat with your arms by your sides, your fingers interlaced underneath the glutes, with a block underneath your sacrum for a supported variation, or seated on your chair with your hands to either sides of the arms or the seat, grounding into both feet to lift the hips up and back down. If you enjoyed this video, then please do give it a like and subscribe to my free YouTube channel and check out this next video. From my heart to yours, namaste.